everyone, my name is Sarah and I'm a registered dietitian here at One Bite Nutrition. So today I thought we would make a holiday themed main dish that you can bring to a holiday party or if you're hosting or just dinner for your family. So today we're going to be making cranberry roasted chicken. For this recipe you're going to need fresh cranberries. You're also going to need some olive oil. You'll need some sort of liquid sweetener. I chose to use this light maple syrup, but you can use honey, you can use agave, just whatever works for you or what you have on hand. Garlic, you can use powdered garlic, you can use garlic cloves. I'm going to use minced garlic today. You'll need some dry rosemary leaves, and then you're also going to need some fresh rosemary sprigs. You're going to need some chicken broth. You could also use dry white wine if you have that on hand, but today I'm going to be using this low sodium chicken broth. And then you'll need your chicken thighs. So I'm using 4 today because they are pretty good size. For this recipe, you can use anywhere between 4 to 6 chicken thighs. And you're also going to need some salt and pepper to taste. So the first thing we're going to do is create our marinade. I'm going to be using my food processor, but you can also use a blender. So the first ingredient you're going to add is 1/3 cup of those fresh cranberries. Then you're going to do about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I'm just going to measure what I think is 2 tablespoons. And then you're going to do 2 tablespoons of low sodium soy sauce or coconut aminos. 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. And then I'm going to do about 1 tablespoon of minced garlic. If you're using garlic cloves, that's going to be about 3 cloves of garlic. 1 teaspoon of rosemary, the dried rosemary. And then 1/4 cup of chicken broth. And now I'm going to blend this up. Now we are going to place our chicken thighs in our dish. So I am using this 8x8. If you're going to make 6, you're probably going to need a little bit bigger of a dish, but this is going to work for me. So you're going to place these in the pan skin side up. Then you're going to take your marinade that you just blended up and you're going to pour it all over the chicken thighs. Alright, so it should look something like this. And what you're going to do is you're going to put this in your fridge. Well, first we're going to cover it, so you could use a lid if you have a lid, plastic wrap, aluminum foil, whatever works for you. And you're going to put this in the fridge to marinate for about 30 minutes. You can also do it up to 24 hours. So if you don't want to bake this that same day, you can also just prepare this ahead of time and put it in the fridge and do it the next day. While my chicken was marinating, I had a thought. So some people might be wondering why I've chosen to use chicken thighs in this recipe over chicken breasts. Aren't chicken breasts the healthier option? So I chose to use thighs in this recipe particularly because I like the flavor of chicken thighs with all the flavors added, like the rosemary and the cranberry. I feel like it really soaks up the marinade really well and is super juicy and tender. But also chicken thighs have a lot of nutrients and the same nutrients that you will get from your breasts. So while the breasts are lower in calories, they're going to be lower in fat, the thighs are still a really great option if you want that juicy, tender feeling. But if you do want to cut back on your calories a little bit, maybe reduce your fat intake, you can either use chicken breasts or you can also remove the skin from the chicken thighs. Chicken thighs are actually typically higher in iron and zinc as well, and because it is a more exercised muscle, it's also going to be higher in collagen, which is really good for our skin and our bones and our muscles. Just a food for thought. Alright, so it's been about 40 minutes and I just took my chicken thighs out of the fridge. The next thing you're going to want to do is carefully scrape off any of the marinade that is on top of the skin of the chicken. And you're not going to throw it away, you're going to put it in a separate little bowl. But you want to be careful while you're doing this so that you're not scraping the skin off of the chicken, because you want to keep that on there. So you're just scraping them off the top and maybe a little bit off the sides of the chicken thighs. You want to leave the marinade around them in the pan. So I went ahead and preheated my oven to 375 Alright, so once you have the majority of the marinade off the tops of your chicken and they're looking pretty clean, you're going to take some olive oil. I'm just going to do a little bit of a drizzle on the top of each thigh. And then I'm going to take this little brush and I'm just going to smooth it over the top. The next thing I'm going to do is season the tops of this with a little bit of salt. Then you're going to want to take some more cranberries. Mine are rolling all over the place. About a half a cup, and just kind of add them to your pan. I would use a half a cup if you have a 9x13 and you're doing probably 6 thighs. I don't think I'm going to get a half a cup in. Probably just about a 1/4 cup since I'm using a smaller pan. And then lastly, you're going to add your rosemary sprigs. So I'm just going to take off little pieces about this size and just lay them over the tops of the chicken, in between 2 thighs. I'll press some in there. Alright, so I just did 4 sprigs, 1 for each chicken thigh, and then you're going to bake this in your oven for about 20 minutes. So you're going to bake your chicken thighs at 375, starting at 20 minutes. After that, I'm going to be checking the temperature with my meat thermometer until it reaches the internal temperature of 160 degrees Fahrenheit. So the cooking temperature for chicken is 165 degrees Fahrenheit, but after that, we're going to pop it in the broiler, so I don't want it to be fully cooked yet. Okay, so my chicken thighs have reached 160 degrees. Now I'm going to take out the little sprigs of rosemary, and I've also go ahead and put my oven on broil. So it's okay if there's a little bit staying in there, just little rosemary leaves, but you really just want to get the stick part out. So now I'm going to put a little bit of this maple syrup, and I'm just going to drizzle a little bit on top of each thigh, and then I'll brush it around to evenly coat. Taking my little brush, evenly coating the skins of the chicken thighs. So now that they're coated in the maple syrup, I'm gonna go ahead and stick this back in the oven on broil until the tops get crispy and browned. Once you have your chicken thighs out of the oven and they're looking a little brown and crispy, you're gonna take that little bit of marinade that you had taken out. Why I use such big of a bowl, I do not know, but you're gonna take this marinade and just put it right back on top of your chicken thighs. And that's it, you have cranberry roasted chicken. If you guys do make this, please let us know. Thank you so much for watching and happy holidays. Bye.